That's my intro. So today, I'm gonna look at this. We're gonna react to this video. I saw this, so I like, okay, I'll watch this shit. Why AEW Black Representation isn't improving. That is very interesting, to be honest. AEW Black people, Black wrestlers. I mean, to be honest, do you guys think Bobby Lashley or Shelton Benjamin will be a world champ? Cause the only person who like be main eventing, the only black wrestler being only main evented was Swerve. I all respect Swerve. I like Swerve, but he literally like the only person, the only black wrestler to main event pay per view. Like literally, like not Mercedes. I'm not like mad or anything about it, but it's just like you know, it's not like Mercedes Monet. It's not any of the Hurt Syndicate. It's not Ricochet. It's not like any of these black wrestlers. I mean, I don't really care, but he the person I react to pro wrestling bits, he just hate on AEW like 24/7. Not like that. That I mean, he probably do. I don't know, like him like that. WWE, he talks good about WWE because um, what they're doing good now since like since the nine events era. But if WWE like treat like black wrestler like unfairly, he'll talk about something about that. He was talking about something like WWE like not doing so good like 2025 this year. So yeah, let's react to the video. Oh shit, I forgot to show the video. There we go. All right, let's react to this. All right, AEW Black Representation is improving.
Swerve Strickland is out. Swerve Strickland is out with injury, and what do you know? Black male singles matches on AEW pay-per-view are extinct. Of course, this is a highly specific statistic, one that AEW sickos use to prop up Tony Khan as a Black history specialist. Sicko, please. A cursory look at AEW's booking of black talent reveals an obvious trend. AEW's first black pay-per-view main eventer was Swerve Strickland. AEW's first black tag team champion was Swerve Strickland.
Black what? World first black? Oh, okay. You're not talking about like a black first I mean, black person. It's a black tag team. Okay. Cause that was a first black person. It was Scorpio Sky, but not a black tag team.
AEW's first black world champion was Swerve Strickland. If I'd said it once, I've said it a million man march. That's not representation, that's represent Strickland. In essence, AEW's black history just tore its meniscus, and the way things are going, you're not gonna see a black male singles pay-per-view match until he comes back. Today, we're gonna take a look at AEW's continued struggles with black talent and why the entire black
That being a is it just a black male? The Mercedes Monet, she's been like she okay, let me see what he's let me see what
You're not going to see a black male singles pay-per-view match until he comes back. Today, we're going to
Okay. I mean, there's Mercedes Monet. He not teaching talk about black male though. He just talk about black male. Okay.
We're going to take a look at AEW's continued struggles with black talent and why the entire black male roster immediately cratered after losing just one black male wrestler. We'll also look at the biggest reason why black wrestlers will always be outsiders in AEW. Subscribe and Mandingo.
Tony Hill claims an overnight visit at his girlfriend's apartment was ruined when a neighbor hit his parked car and says the driver didn't bother to leave a note. Mr. Hill is suing Brittany Williams in the amount of $683.97.
All rise. Swerve Strickland is injured, and so is AEW's black male roster. Without Swerve, AEW no longer has the ability to plug and play black male talent because their black singles roster really wasn't that deep to begin with.
I got hit with another abs.
Gaza is at a tipping point. The adults who are malnourished.
Pause. All those stats about black males on AEW pay-per-view were Swerve numbers. Now that Swerve's gone, AEW's pay-per-view stats read like a city census of Edgewood, Kentucky. Max Caster and Anthony Bowens were once AEW's hottest tag team as the Acclaimed. In fact, they were one of the rare black acts built from the ground up in AEW. It only worked because Tony Khan got the out of the way. Tony's only exposure to black culture is the Jaguars locker room, so the less he was involved in the creative process, the better. Max Caster wrote his own blistering bars as part of a crowd-pleasing entrance. The Acclaimed filmed music videos that were the perfect mix of dope and campy. They scissored with Daddy Ass. It was great. But then when it was time to split these brothers up, AEW said time and split them up 6 months early. This was actually a good test to see how Tony Khan would develop two different popular black wrestlers in a rockers scenario. Tony failed that test because when it came to the rappers, both them niggas was Marty Jannetty. Anthony Bowens became the pride of AEW, but sadly his Pride run was shorter than Pride Month. Max Caster's gimmick was just to go out there and lose. Like literally, his gimmick was to facetiously claim that he's the best wrestler alive, then he would go out and get squashed. Caster's gimmick actually had a charm to it, but both floundered as singles and are now on the verge of getting back together. Sadly, the Acclaim's reunion is just like their breakup because nobody is asking for that either. The Acclaimed used to be a very popular featured act on every AEW pay-per-view. Post-breakup, they got scissored right out of the mid-card. In fact, let's take a look at AEW Wrestle Dream to see all the black male talent who were featured on this 12-match spectacular, including the tailgate. AEW had 9 main card matches, almost double what WWE usually has for a PLE. On this marathon pay-per-view, there is only one match featuring black men, and it was a tornado tag team match where they essentially put 2 black trios in one Wrestle Dream sandbox and gave them 10 to 15. They killed 6 black birds with 1 stone, and it was the shortest match on the entire main card. The only other black man featured on Wrestle Dream is Trios champion Powerhouse Hobbs, who never even won that title to begin with. He's only in the ops because Hook got hurt, but I guess that's something.
Miss Williams damaged my car and does not want to pay for it.
Wait, so Hook was hurt the first time? Would okay, so would Hook be a would Hook so Hook was gonna be a heel then? Hmm. I don't know. I don't know.
Why don't you want to pay for it, the damage to this car?
Your Honor, I don't feel that I owe this man
Why don't
anything.
you feel that way?
Because, first of all, he was parked illegally.
He was illegally
He was not
parked.
supposed to be parked there. He's not supposed to be there. It's a fire lane.
Like most self-indulgent AEW pay-per-views, Wrestle Dream lasted over 5 hours, which means it was hours between seeing brothers on the show. And if it weren't for the Trios division, there would be less black men on AEW pay-per-view than there are in a Young Republicans group chat. There'd be less black men on AEW pay-per-view than on Ronald Reagan's ranch. Less black men on AEW pay-per-view than there were at funeral. What? You don't know what I said? You can't prove anything. Since day one, the Hurt Syndicate funeral. Reagan's ranch. Less black men on AEW pay-per-view than there were at funeral. What? You don't know what I said? You can't prove anything. Since day one, the Hurt Syndicate has proven they're the hottest thing in AEW, bar none. They get over anywhere they go. They have the best theme song in the entire business. They look the part. They act the part. They are the part. Fans chant, "We heard people," every time they come around. This is a world championship stable. They've surpassed the Hurt business. But when it comes to the AEW sickos and their assessment of the Hurt Syndicate, Meltzer and Waldorf were fixated on how the hottest act in AEW needs to do jobs.
This is the same thing that happened with Malachi. This is the same thing that happened with Rusev. It is now happening with the Hurt Syndicate. They don't want to come to AEW and do jobs. So we had the Hurt Syndicate versus Gates of Agony. This is the feud that will never end. They just had the match at the pay-per-view, which was the street fight.
Well, the reason it'll never end is because it's the one guys that the Hurt Syndicate want to work with.
Well, they'll sell for them, and they did a lot here.
Yeah, and they lost to him, which they did their first loss as a tag team in AEW.
Yeah, they said this was the first time the Hurt Syndicate had ever been beaten.
There is heat backstage at AEW on MVP and the Hurt Syndicate.
MVP has, quote, rubbed a lot of people the wrong way backstage at AEW. The sentiment has been expressed by a number of talents on the roster. The Hurt Syndicate member has made it known that he does not like Speedball Mike Bailey and did not want Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin losing to Bailey and Kevin Knight. It is not clear why MVP dislikes Bailey, or if Hurt Syndicate has ever actually planned to lose to Jet Speed. The report also states MVP turned down pitches for the Hurt Syndicate to lose to FTR at All In and Forbidden Door. They would rather lose to the Gates of Agony, the Outrunners, or Private Party, 3 teams they have already defeated this year. There is said to be frustration within AEW locker room that the faction beats everyone up, high fives to fans, does cool moves when they're supposed to be heels.
You have the literal second coming of the Hurt Business, which saved WWE's ass during the pandemic. And despite the fact that everybody in AEW's half-empty buildings are cheering for these brothers, the AEW clanosphere is out here talking about, when are these people gonna do jobs? I know these ninjas are popular, but I just don't care. All I want to know is, when are these niggers gonna know their place and do a damn job? These people need to stop talking about business.
I hope he didn't say that word. Want to make sure.
I know these ninjas are popular, but I just don't care. All I want to know is, when are these niggers gonna know their place and do a damn job?
Gotta give me banned pro wrestling bits. Don't say that shit. I know it's censored, but damn.
These people need to stop talking about business and do business the right way. MVP clapped back at the notion that the Hurt Syndicate doesn't do jobs, and it was brilliant.
You know, there was this fictional narrative going around that the Hurt Syndicate doesn't want to do jobs. Yeah, you're right. We don't do jobs. We do business. And if business is done the right way, we can take an L and give a W to a younger team that will elevate that team.
Not only do they just do business, they do black business. MVP knows that he can call his shot with an authoritatively challenged Tony Khan. So he's doing what any top guy should do and taking advantage of the in-over-his-head booker. I don't know what's true and what's just put out there to sabotage the Hurt Syndicate, but I love the fact that MVP and them seem focused on giving the rub to a great black tag team on the rise and their manager Ricochet. Speaking of Ricochet, he's gonna look back on 2025 as one of the bigger falls from grace in all of wrestling. Ricochet is your quintessential indie guy. He had the Dave Meltzer 5-star stimulus package going into AEW. I don't know if I've ever mentioned this, but Tony Khan used to be a junior correspondent for the Wrestling Observer newsletter, which is like being a stenographer in the dementia wing of Kaiser Permanente. Ricochet was set up for success, but despite being a Meltzerian internet darling flip guy, Ricochet inadvertently proved that Tony Khan can't even elevate indie-rific talent when they're black. A lot of wrestlers have reinvented themselves for the better in AEW. Tony Storm, Miro, Jericho, the Hurt Syndicate, but Ricochet reinvented himself as a Twitter troll. That's going backwards. As we speak, Twitter Ricky is literally challenging reporters to fistfights over their tweets. He's 37. In spite of his once rare athletic abilities, Mans went from...
I don't care if he's part of his gimmick or not, but him being on Twitter being toxic is the most stupidest thing I ever seen in my life. Like, you are, what's the word? You are inspiring people to be more toxic on Twitter to be about wrestling. Like, bruh, Ricochet, with all due respect, you're talented. But all respect, shut the hell up and stop being toxic on Twitter. I know you don't listen to me, you don't want to listen to anybody else, but holy shit, my guy, shut up for once. Stop tweeting, okay? Just stop. For the love of God, stop it. And your ass ball too.
Monday Night Raw to Monday morning retweets. In fact, Twitter Ricky doing the splits on it for AEW is one of the only reasons he's able to hang on to a spot for dear life. Imagine you're Trevor Mann 2 years ago. you're a free agent. And WWE is all like, in 2 years, we'll have a Netflix deal, an ESPN deal, and that Saudi Mania money about to go crazy, nigga. But if you go to AEW, you'll be the third leg of a 3-man stable with no belts and not even a sniff of a main event program. Do you think Twitter Ricky would have passed up on all that ESPN money to ride the mid-card in Jacksonville? Look, I know Ricochet is an idiot and a bald goof and everything, so probably we'll be right back.
Did you know him before?
I know his girlfriend. She is one of my neighbors.
I don't live there.
But you're over there a lot. Probably over there all the time.
Oh, yeah, I'm over there all the time. I'm tearing it up. Are you kidding me?
Do you actually give her a little bit of rent, or you take care of that?
We do not, because she's paying in love, essentially. I'm there because she cares about me.
She's what?
We are paying each other in love. She goes to my place sometimes, and the reason I go to my girlfriend's apartment complex is because sometimes I work late nights. One time at 11 o'clock, I left work late, got in a car accident because I fell asleep at the wheel, and my girlfriend made me promise, anytime you leave work after 11, you have to come here and you have to stay with me. It'll save your life.
And you were like, okay, I'll come.
Exactly.
All right.
All right.
Coffee in the morning,
fine. To me, but I'm going to do it for you.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
That's hilarious.
It's no coincidence that Tony Khan can't book black talent. He's culturally clueless. The only black people who get over in AEW only do so with a ready-made WWE template. And that's before the AEW sabotage. Telling Tony Khan to create a black top star from scratch is like telling Morgan Freeman to carve a marble Venus de Milo with his bare hand. Tony's been booking Dynamite for the past 30 years. His words, not mine. Tony Twitter Fingers' wrestling philosophy was informed by the deepest, darkest corners of message boards. Given the time period, the very idea of a black top star was a novelty at best. Black people will always be outsiders in AEW. And as a radicalized member of the IWC, Tony Khan is looking for his next Lou Thez, not his next New Jack.
Coming up on America's Court.
I'm not paying for shiitake mushrooms.
And I'm not.
Oh, shit, that's over. Was he actually in court? What the hell? All right, I'm gonna see is he actually in court. Bro, my phone is slow as fuck right now. I need to get this SR too. Hurricane. But who is that? Judge Ross? I think I'm stupid. I actually think I thought he actually was in court. Let me put his name on there. I don't know if I put either his real name or his. Uh, nope, he's not on there. I thought he was. I think I'm tripping. I think I'm tripping. I don't know if he was actually in court or not. I think he was just joking, but I don't fucking know. But yeah, that's honestly who do I want to be a world champion for AEW? I'm thinking for black and white wrestlers. Hmm. I would love to see Jungle Jungle Boy. I would love to see Jungle Boy be a world champion. Out of Jungle Boy, maybe Hook. I feel like Hook it'll be a while, a long time if he be at AEW that long. Who else? I want Edge to win a world champion and Christian, but I don't know how that finna stop. I don't know how that finna go right now. Who black wrestler? I feel like Bob Lash gonna win a world would be gonna be a world champion. Who else? I really like all the wrestlers I know. I want Willow Nightingale to be a AEW Women's World Champion. Chris Statlander Women's World Champion right now. I feel like Willow Nightingale would be too as well. They were both TBS champions as well. I feel like Willow got to be world. If not, that's some bullshit. But yeah, that's AEW video. See y'all guys in the next one where I read throughout to. See you. Bye.